Apple Card is the perfect credit card for every purchase. It has cashback rewards unlike others. You earn unlimited daily cash back on every purchase, receive it daily, and can grow it at 4.15% annual percentage yield when you open a high-yield savings account. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on iPhone and start earning and growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings account provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
You're ready for a comeback. And with Purdue Global, you can do more than take classes. You can take charge of your story, of your career, of your life. Earn a degree you can be proud of and get an education employers respect. It's time, your time, not just to go back to school, but to come back and move forward with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Before we get started, just a warning that this episode contains a mention of sexual abuse. Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about trendsetters, women whose vision, style, and willingness to break barriers changed culture, from what we wear to how we behave. The film screen flickers to life. A song with a driving bass line grooves in the background while a woman silhouetted in green, purple, and orange dances across the screen. The film continues, transitioning from action scene to action scene. The protagonist has a perfectly coiled afro, large gold hoop earrings, and a show-stopping wardrobe of silk shirts and bell-bottom pants. She's out for revenge, and she's willing to kick, shoot, and punch her way to justice. This is Foxy Brown. Just one kick-ass character played by the Queen of the Blaxploitation genre. Meet Pam Grier. Pam was born in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, not far from where I grew up, on May 26, 1949. Pam's family moved to Colorado when she was an infant, but because her father served in the Air Force, her family moved around often, staying places for just a year or two at a time. The one place Pam felt at home was on her grandparents' farm in Wyoming. She loved learning to fish and tending to vegetables. When Pam was 6 years old, she was sexually assaulted by some older boys in her neighborhood. The experience gave her a post-traumatic stutter. Young Pam was withdrawn and shy and felt more comfortable around horses than people. By 1958, Pam's mother had saved enough money to buy a house in Denver, and their family settled in Colorado for good. Pam took piano lessons and sang in the youth gospel choir. That's how she found her love of performing. In high school, she was a contestant in the Miss Colorado Universe competition and placed second runner-up. Pam then enrolled at the Metropolitan State College of Denver. However, a Hollywood agent had already noticed Pam's star power, and soon she was on her way to LA. When Pam first got to Los Angeles in 1968, it felt like another planet. Wearing a plaid work shirt, Timberland boots, and her hair in an afro, she didn't look like the other film students. But she was undeterred. She worked multiple jobs to make ends meet while she tried to make it in film. At one of those jobs, she caught the attention of a producer. He was drawn to Pam's authority and presence. After a successful audition, he flew Pam out to the Philippines for director Jack Hill's action movie, The Big Dollhouse. Even though I was doing what was considered a B movie, I thought it was Gone with the Wind, Pam said in an interview years later. While her film career was taking off, Pam was dating basketball star Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He wanted to marry her. She wanted independence. One day while Pam was shooting in the Philippines, she got a call from him. She'd had 3 months to think about marriage, he told her. He said, "If you don't commit to marrying me and becoming a Muslim woman, I will marry someone this afternoon who's been prepared for me." Pam grew up being told success for a woman was marrying a nice man and having kids. She'd seen women find happiness in a marriage. But Pam had been reading essays from Gloria Steinem and other members of the women's movement. She'd found real passion in working in film. She knew she had worth outside of a marriage and a family. She wanted to be a movie star. Pam turned him down and got back to work. Back in the United States, award-winning film director Melvin Van Peebles had just ushered in a new era for American movies. Wanting to showcase the Black experience as he saw it, in 1971, Melvin wrote, directed, edited, and starred in Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. the movie made more than $10 million, blowing its $150,000 budget out of the water. Former head of the Los Angeles NAACP, Junius Griffin, coined the term Blaxploitation as a critique of this new subgenre. Junius and many others believed the films fed into stereotypes about Black people and gratuitous sex, drugs, and violence. Others, meanwhile, celebrated the genre, as its films gave more opportunities for Black actors to have starring roles. The producers and directors behind the scenes were often Black, too. If Melvin was the creator of Blaxploitation, Pam soon became its queen. Jack Hill offered Pam the leading role in his 1973 film, Coffee. Pam played the titular Coffee, a vigilante seeking revenge against a heroin dealer responsible for her sister's addiction. When she blew the head off of her adversary with a sawed-off shotgun in the opening sequence, Pam cemented herself as a cult-action icon.
This is the end of your rotten life, you motherfucking dope pusher!
Next came Foxy Brown in 1974.
When Foxy Brown comes to town, all the brothers gather round, 'cause she can really shake 'em down. Foxy lady.
Using quick thinking, good looks, and a pistol hidden in her afro, Pam's character, Foxy, exacted revenge on a crime syndicate that killed her government agent boyfriend. Pam went on to star in several more Blaxploitation films, including Sheba Baby and Friday Foster. The Blaxploitation hype died down in the 1980s, but Pam's career didn't. She went on to act in theater, TV, and movies, including Fort Apache, The Bronx, and Something Wicked This Way Comes. Then in the latter half of the decade, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and was only given 18 months to live. Against all odds, Pam made a full recovery and kept on acting. Little did she know, there was one famous director in particular following her career and admiring her work, Quentin Tarantino. He offered Pam the starring role in his new film, Jackie Brown. She'd be playing a flight attendant who gets involved in a smuggling heist. The role earned her a Golden Globe nomination and breathed new life into her career. After that, she appeared on Law & Order Special Victims Unit and The L Word. She wrote an autobiography and starred in her own sitcom, Bless This Mess. These days, when she isn't acting, Pam lives on a ranch in Colorado. As she said in an interview with The New Yorker, it reminds her of her grandparents' home in Wyoming all those years ago. She wakes up at 4 a.m., makes herself some coffee, and checks on her horses. They eat breakfast before she does. After surviving cancer, every day she wakes up feels like a win. All month, we're talking about Trendsetters. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
From iHeart Podcasts, Supreme, The Battle for Roe, tells the story of the unlikely champions behind the landmark case Roe v. Wade, starring Maya Hawke as 26-year-old lead attorney Sarah Weddington.
We're challenging the Texas abortion laws in federal court.
And Academy Award nominee William H. Macy as Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun.
Time is not the most important factor. Getting it right is.
Listen to the podcast Supreme, The Battle for Roe on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Now is the time to experience America's pastime in a whole new way. Major League Baseball has teamed up with T-Mobile for Business to advance the game with next-gen 5G solutions, going deeper with real-time data visualization, new camera angles that put fans on the field with their favorite players, and even testing an automated ball strike system in the minor leagues. This is the 5G era of baseball. See what we can do for your business at T-Mobile.com/now. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Officially licensed product of MLB Players Incorporated.
This year, Hyundai features their all-electric Hyundai Ioniq lineup as a proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas, with 2 high-tech models. The Ioniq 5 can take you an EPA-estimated 303 miles on a single charge and has available two-way charging for electronic equipment inside and outside the car. The Ioniq 6 boasts a mind-blowing range of up to 360 miles and can deliver up to an 80% charge in just 18 minutes with its 800-volt DC ultra-fast charger. Check out Hyundai at the iHeartRadio Music Festival in Las Vegas as their all-star Ioniq lineup hits the stage like you've never seen before. Hyundai, it's your journey.